Since ancient times, the Serpent Bloodline has known that our thoughts can shape our reality. Please don't imagine this is anything to do with New Age philosophies that blame everyone for their own bad luck, bad health, etc. When someone isn't even aware that their thoughts can help or hinder their own reality, they cannot be blamed for getting run down and depressed when nothing goes their way. After all, our thoughts cannot influence the situation we are born into and the actions of others. Magic can help with that, but it takes a great deal of training and dedication to achieve the know-how to do it safely and efficiently. In my own life, when I am in peak condition and fully focused, I have achieved some amazing results, but unlike those with eagle tendencies, I am not at all interested in achieving things that so many others crave, but I will always have just enough for what I need, which is fine by me. I do believe, though, that if someone sets their mind to it, they can achieve any goal they want. Your thoughts can improve your chances of healing from health conditions, but thoughts alone cannot cure anything. Some conditions have no cure, and no amount of magic will cure them. Please don't ever tell someone who is terminally ill or in chronic pain that they can just think away their conditions. That is victim blaming, and an extremely psychopathic thing to say to someone who is suffering. Your thoughts can make you ill, though. Stress is the biggest killer. It leads to so many problems. So if you remove the thoughts that are causing you stress, then of course this will resolve all the problems that it causes. But let's get into Serpent Magick and how it works. First, let's talk about when you make people dislike and distrust you. I myself have always had confidence issues, and so do tend to assume that other people won't like me. And guess what? They usually don't. I give off strange vibes that scare those who themselves are not more spiritually advanced. I go into detail about this aura in one of my other videos. People distrust people who are more spiritually aware than them. It comes across as arrogance. You don't have to mention anything about it. They just sense it, and it makes them uncomfortable. Not because it is your fault. It is because the other person has an inferiority complex. So for me, being alone, or with a select few others who get me, is the best thing. So many misunderstand me and have caused me problems. When you do any kind of magic, it is important to put protection around yourself. Cleanse your aura with a banishing ritual, and then create a mental safety shield around you. When someone is trying to harm your reputation or business, you can then send them neutral grey energy. This energy cannot harm them, it is neutral. But what it does is send back the negativity that they are directing at you straight back to them. They might become ill or depressed, but that is their fault, not yours. If you never send out black energy, you can never cause harm to anyone with your thoughts. Send grey energy to those who are causing you problems with no desire for any results, and then sit back and watch what happens. When trying to make friends, the thing is to not try. If you are lonely and desperate for friends and attention, people tend to sense this, and they run away scared that you are too clingy and needy. You first have to give up the desire for friends, and notice how people will no longer run away. This also applies when looking for a relationship. Just send out happy, friendly energy, with no desire for anything from the other person, no expectations, and everything that comes is a bonus. When someone is struggling with depression or other issues in life, and you are tempted to try and help them, so many will believe that sending Reiki energy or some other New Age form of energy transfer will help. They drain themselves of white energy they send out, and it is filled with sympathy, pity, and the desire to heal the other person. However, this is not going to work. All you are doing is draining your own energy. Our own ego that tells us that we can heal another is the very thing that can hinder them. As I have talked about in the 7 Deadly Sins and 7 Heavenly Virtues video, we need to remain balanced and neutral. This might sound counterproductive, but it is actually giving power back to the person. You pitying them is not helping them. You sending kind and caring thoughts, however, helps them face the things alone, which ultimately we all have to do. The longer a person goes through life with the illusion that they don't have to face things alone, the harder it will be for them in the long run. A young person will learn good coping skills, whereas an older person who is suddenly left on their own when a spouse dies won't cope very well at all. Being dependent on others makes us weak. Knowing we are responsible for ourselves gives us strength. Instead, send kind energy, like a warm, calming hug. It shows you care, but it releases any desire you have. Kindness with no desire for anything in return, including the healing of the other person, is in truth the best medicine any person can hope to receive energetically from another person. Pity just drags them down further. It is a trap. It is the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is negative, and empathy is kindness. The lack of desire for results is also important when you want to manifest things in your own life. The absolutely most effective way to manifest things in your life is through sigils. I see so many talking about sigils, but they aren't doing them correctly, so they don't get results. It is so important when you are creating your sigil motto and the actual sigil that you strongly imagine how your life would be if you already had the thing that you are trying to manifest. When you charge the sigil, you only think about the image of the sigil, and then you forget it. Move on with your life. Don't sit there waiting for it to work. That is desire. The sigil will work only when you allow it to, because you have released the desire and carry on regardless. So keep your magic diary with all the notes of the things that you have made sigils for. Then once a year go back and have a look at them. You will be amazed at how many things you asked for do manifest if you bypass desires. Always be mindful of the ways others' energies can affect you. For instance, anything that causes us pain or any kind of heightened emotion affects us magically. So many these days are falling for the fad of having tattoos without realizing they are participating in a magic ritual every time they have one done. Not only does the chosen design of the tattoo affect them, but also the intent of the person giving them the tattoo at the time. If your tattoo artist is depressed, angry, in debt, etc., at the time of doing your tattoo, that energy is transferred to you in a blood rite. They are literally transferring their negative energies into you, and because tattoos are permanent, those energies will remain there and probably ruin your life. If you're wondering how to send energy to people, here is a quick step-by-step guide. 1. Perform a banishing ritual to cleanse your aura. 2. Put up a protection shield around yourself by meditating and imagining a glowing egg-shaped shield all around you that keeps you safe inside from any bad energies that could be directed at you. 3. Meditate and think about the person you want to send energy to. 4. Imagine a glowing light starting at your root chakra and moving up through all your chakras and out through the top of your head, and then see it entering the other person's head and flowing down through their chakras. The colour of the energy you send is up to you. Each colour has a special meaning. Use your table of correspondences to decide which colour you want to send. 5. Once you feel all the energies transferred, remember to thank your higher self and then do another banishing ritual. Thought and energy work are a massive part of how Serpent Magick works. But the topic is massive, and I have done various other videos on magic topics here on this channel. I also give details on how to do a banishing ritual, how to create sigils, and much more in my book. If you only remember one thing about energy magic, remember to give kindness with no desire for results. Okay, that's going to be all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video and got something from it. And please don't send me any negative energy. It's okay, I've got my shield up. Okay, bye for now.